One of NASCAR's most historic car numbers just cut ties with its driver mid-season, and now a Cup Series race winner has no ride for next year. The carousel didn't just start spinning, it just launched. Here's what went down. Josh Berry will not return to Wood Brothers Racing's number 21 Ford when the 2026 season wraps up. Berry found out Tuesday. He went public Wednesday. No sugarcoating, no drawn-out farewell, just gone. Berry currently sits 30th in the Cup Series standings. He's a proven winner. He took the checkered flag at Las Vegas in 2025 and punched his ticket into the playoffs that year. But the follow-through in 2026 hasn't matched that moment, and Wood Brothers made their decision. Now two questions are consuming the NASCAR world simultaneously. Who slides into that iconic seat for 2027? And where does a race-winning Cup driver land when there's no obvious door open? The number 21 isn't just any car number. Wood Brothers Racing is one of the oldest, most decorated organizations in the history of this sport. They fielded champions, Hall of Famers, and legends. The number carries genuine weight in NASCAR circles. This isn't a mid-pack team fighting for survival. This is a franchise seat. The organization also operates under a close technical alliance with Team Penske, which means the resources, the engineering pipeline, and the Ford Motor Company relationship all come packaged with that ride. On paper, it's one of the more attractive spots available in the Cup garage, even if the on-track results haven't reflected that potential recently. Berry's first year with the team showed real promise. The Las Vegas win in 2025 was legitimate. He didn't back into it. He raced for it and delivered under pressure. That's not nothing. That's the kind of moment a young Cup driver builds a career around. But 30th in the standings in 2026 tells a different story. And in this sport, when results don't come, patience runs out, regardless of what happened 12 months ago. The timing also stings for Berry personally. Mid-season announcements like this don't just affect the driver's confidence for the remainder of the year, they signal to the entire paddock that this seat is open. Every team, every sponsor conversation, every negotiation for 2027 now happens in public. That's a brutal situation to navigate while still trying to perform on weekends. Let's break down both sides of this equation because there are real stakes on each end. For Wood Brothers, this decision comes with its own set of risks. Yes, 30th in the standings justifies a change in direction. But replacing a driver mid-cycle without a clear successor identified is a gamble. The number 21's Penske affiliation makes it attractive, but attractive on paper and attractive in practice are two different things. If they reach the offseason without a strong signing, this could get uncomfortable quickly. The more interesting question is what kind of driver they pursue. Do they go young? A developmental talent from the Ford pipeline looking for a full-time shot? Do they target a veteran looking for stability and a proven organization? Or does this become the landing spot for someone displaced elsewhere in the silly season shuffle? Because here's the thing, Berry's release doesn't happen in isolation. Every driver move triggers another. Someone loses a ride, someone else fills it, and a domino falls somewhere unexpected. The No 21 opening is now one of the anchor points around which the rest of NASCAR's offseason will organize itself. On Berry's side, the situation is genuinely precarious. A Cup Series winner with playoff experience should have leverage, but the driver market doesn't always reward recent history when current results are soft. Teams pay for trajectory, not for what you did 18 months ago. His best asset right now is that win. One victory can reframe an entire narrative if the right team is looking for the right piece. But there's no obvious seat waiting, and the longer this drags into the offseason without resolution, the more complicated it becomes. The NASCAR community's reaction has been predictably layered. Longtime Wood Brothers supporters are feeling the weight of this. There's a certain sadness attached to any major change at an organization with that kind of history, even when the change makes competitive sense. But most of the conversation has quickly pivoted from sentiment to speculation. Who gets that seat? The names will start circulating within days. Every driver on an expiring contract, every development driver waiting in the wings, every disgruntled veteran looking for a reset, all of them become part of the discussion now. As for Berry, there's genuine sympathy for a driver who delivered a win and still got shown the door. That resonates with fans, but sympathy doesn't guarantee a ride. His Las Vegas win becomes a calling card that lands him a comparable or even better seat elsewhere. A team with stronger resources takes a shot on a proven winner at a reasonable price. Berry gets a fresh start, and the 2026 disappointment becomes a footnote. He rebounds, reestablishes himself as a contender, and this whole chapter gets reframed as the turning point that relaunched his career. The offseason passes without a clear landing spot. Berry ends up in a part-time or underfunded situation, and the momentum he built in 2025 quietly dissolves. Meanwhile, Wood Brothers brings in a high-profile name that makes Berry's release feel even more pointed in hindsight. The window between those two outcomes could close fast. This market moved quickly, and the drivers with leverage at the start of silly season rarely have the same leverage by October. Josh Berry earned his place in Cup Series history with that Las Vegas win. But in NASCAR, past performance only buys you so much runway. Now the real question isn't just who fills the number tome. 21, it's whether Berry lands somewhere that proves Wood Brothers made a mistake or somewhere that proves they made the right call. Who do you think should be in that car next season? And does Berry find a ride that keeps him in the Cup Series long term? Sound off below. This is exactly the kind of silly season move the NASCAR world was waiting for. And if you're tracking every driver move, every team shakeup, and every NASCAR storyline that matters, stick with us. This is only the beginning.